This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. The tight end Henry here in motion. They'll try and run for the first with Stevenson. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. 45 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Douglas, the man in motion. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Throwing here is Maye. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. And the Broncos are going to get the football back at their own 17. That pick hurts a little extra because it was 3rd down. You were already in field goal range.
You know what he's going to hear all night, all next week? Situational football. Understand what's going on, because you expressed it perfectly. 3 points were in their hip pocket. They had those. Now, those went by the wayside. You cannot make those kind of mistakes.
It's what you call a rookie mistake. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Throwing Nix. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Nix. Flush to his right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
I certainly like what he did right there, because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
And this is going to be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football, but you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. Possession back to the Patriots. Ramondre Stevenson headed out with the offense. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Douglas, the man in motion. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 51 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Second and 4. Finding Bourne here over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Running left is Stevenson. And he is going to lose yardage here. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
After the loss, they'll come up second and 13. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Douglas. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage. When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. To the sideline and incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just lob one toward the bench. Not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and they will take over 1st and 10. New England's offense set to go. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. From the shotgun, it's Maye. Short pass caught by Henry. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're looking at third and a few inches. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. 57 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on third down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Douglas, the man in motion. To the air, Maye. Short pass caught by Henry. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the first down.
Second down and 8. They'll drop to throw. Setting up a screen for Stevenson. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Back to throw now on first down. Short pass caught by Henry. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's second down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the 29, here's second down and 5. From the gun, it's Maye. And his throw here's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
And on third and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Again, he'll drop to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 18. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And that's well executed there on third down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So from inside the 20, here's first and 10 at the 18. They'll look to throw again. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Flushed out, and he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Drake Maye, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Patriots are able to stretch out their lead. I'm pretty sure that was a passing play, but he took off pretty quickly and ran with it.
Love his decisiveness on it because you're exactly right. He was supposed to go back in the pocket and survey the field and throw the football. But when that hole opened, he just said, forget it, let's go. And boy, did that work out well.
Now Joey Sly for the point after. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Denver's offense now set to go. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Here's Nix. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Patriot defense has a touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick six, and I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick six.
Sly on for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Broncos offense and Javonte Williams head out for this next drive. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here now, 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Nix. A short one to the tight end, Troutman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. Throw left side complete to Troutman. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Nix from the shotgun. That's complete to Troutman, right side. And out of bounds right around the 20. And that extra yardage makes this upcoming field goal attempt much more manageable.
Agreed, because when you talk to defensive coordinators, they always tell us the 35-yard line on our side of the field, that's the line we guard the most aggressively, because once they get there, they believe they're in field goal range.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here at Gillette Stadium with the Patriots on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
The Patriots got a solid first half from their quarterback, Maye. He had a touchdown both in the air and on the ground to help push his guys into the lead at the break. The highlights are fairly one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference here at the break, but I wouldn't call this one over just yet. I think there could still be some fireworks yet to come.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Patriots offense and Maye headed back onto the field. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want us to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Gibson here running out of the gun. And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Now back to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Patriots first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Stevenson gets it again on 2nd down. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. 75 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, that's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. 2nd down and 6 now. Looking to throw, Maye. Short pass caught by Henry. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 5 catches for him in that first half, and that's number 6 that we just saw, and also a first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Back to the ground with Gibson. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
On first down, right back to Gibson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll look to throw here. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Looking to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. A great effort there, laying himself out in the end zone. And the Patriots take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Denver's offense ready to go again. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Nix to the air. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. The Patriots offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Here's Maye. Gets this complete to Butte. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They'll throw with Maye. Douglas with a grab over the middle. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Bourne going to go in motion right here. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
To throw, it's Maye. That is caught. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Throwing here is Maye. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll set up to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Drake Maye, a 6-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
Nothing like understanding where your escape hatches are as a quarterback. Here he's looking, but he knows he doesn't want to force anything. So when nothing avails itself, he slips past the rushers, takes it right up the middle, and takes it into the end zone.
Slide for the PAT. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Joey slide out, a kickoff after the touchdown. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Working out of the gun is Nix. A throw over the middle, taken in by Troutman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6. On play action, here's Nix. This one complete. It's Devon Vele. And he's got another first